All right, man. Up next, we got the Brooklyn Nets. So, James Harden played 4 minutes and he ended up getting hurt and didn't return to the game. He only played 4 minutes. So, they had no KD, no James Harden, and they ended up still winning. Mainly because Kyrie Irving went off the entire game. He had, 40 points? 40 points and 7 assists. Now, I'm going to say this, though. I kind of figured that this was going to be too good to be true. Because you got to think, like, they are just now starting to get a bench. I mean, James Harden, now, I don't know how implicable it is from him playing so many minutes, and then I don't know if it just caught up to him or if this was just a freak accident. But I do know this, though. A hamstring injury, it ain't really easy to come back from. There's been times where I've hurt my hamstring, and you may feel fine one moment, and then you run full speed, and all of a sudden it hurts again. Like, a hamstring is a very tricky injury to really evaluate, because apparently he's going to be gone for 10 days, and they're going to reevaluate him. And I'm going to say this, like, I think Anthony Davis has been dealing with a hamstring injury for God knows how long. Like, he been dealing with a calf injury. I think KD is the one who's been dealing with a hamstring injury, and he's only played 15 games this year. He's only played 15 games. And so, with James Harden getting a hamstring injury, for one, we don't know how serious it is. And two, how is this going to affect Brooklyn moving forward? Because you got to think about this. I think KD was on shoot around last night, but he ends up not playing. So, and then James Harden ends up getting hurt. Now, as long as one of the stars is there, they'll be fine. But they got to think about this, though. Joel Embiid just came back from his injury, and he looks fine. KD may come back tomorrow against the Pelicans. James Harden is going to be out for a while. We got to find out if the injuries are going to creep up on them, and this is why having a bench is so important. And them trading away all them pieces on the bench, we got to find out if that's even going to come back to bite them. But with how good James Harden has been, I think that really defeats the purpose of really arguing about it. Because when James Harden plays like this, I'm sure anybody would do it. But, you know, you got to think, like, the 76ers, maybe, they got their eyebrows raised now. The Bucks got their eyebrows raised. Hell, even the Knicks. And I know that the Knicks lost to them last night, but you got to think about this too, right? The Knicks are the 8th seed. The Nets are the 1st seed. If the season was to end today, that will be her first round matchup. Battle of New York. It's never happened in the NBA playoffs before. It never happened. Well, I'm pretty sure the Knicks and the New Jersey Nets went in the playoffs, but I'm talking about two teams from New York battling out in the playoffs. But, you know, I don't really think it's going to hurt the Nets too much with James Harden being gone. Because you got to think, all three of those players, like, I've seen Kyrie take over many games before. I've seen KD take over games after game after games. And look, he got 2 Finals MVPs and so forth. I've seen James Harden carry a team to the Western Conference Finals. So, with these three playing together, we all like a lot of us already knew that. Oh, this team could be with them getting James Harden on that trade. We was thinking to ourselves, oh, this is a championship or bust. But look, me personally, I really didn't think about injury playing a big part in it. And plus, with James Harden getting hurt this late in the season, is really dangerous. And KD now coming back from his hamstring injury, that's a tricky situation too because, like I said before, a hamstring is not an easy thing to come back from. It's not. You like we don't. I mean, look, they can have James Harden be out for 10 games, well, for 10 days, and then they'll reevaluate him and they'll think he's fine. Then he goes back out there on the game he comes back from, and he gets hurt again. Like that happens a lot with hamstring injuries. So I'm not saying that the Brooklyn Nets should press the panic button. I don't think it's time for that yet. But they should find that bitch though. They should find it and they should keep their eye on it. But I think KD is supposed to be back soon. Y'all gotta really pray and hope that James Harden is coming back 100% healthy by the time the playoffs roll around. And if that happens, then hey, I don't see nobody stopping the Brooklyn Nets when they're 100% healthy. And I think that includes the Lakers. But we'll see what happens, man. Look, they ain't starting to heat up now, so we'll see what happens.